Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and my second video. This one is on Acutaas Chemicals. Why have I chosen Acutaas? Again, it's similar to why I chose MCX because the growth score rank. Acutaas is scoring really well on the quarter score and the growth score, which basically means its present performance has been really good and also the future is looking bright for it. So this is definitely a stock or a company which is worthy of some attention, of some studying, okay? So I'm going to skip the industry context and go straight into the business snapshot. Acutaas, just lightly, it's a manufacturer of chemicals for pharma, semiconductor, and battery industries. So there are kind of three end industries, but the way to think about it is, I think this is a better way to think about Acutaas, which is that it is 85% an intermediates producer and 15% a specialty chemicals producer. The advanced intermediates, which it produces for pharma industry and CDMO services, is kind of a higher margin business as compared to the specialty chemicals business, right? And we can see that the company revenue has been growing 25%, the specialty chemicals has been growing 74%, and the advanced intermediaries 21%, right? And the kind of revenue split has been fairly consistent over the last few years. Um, so now going on to the quarterly score, Acutaas has been performing really well in the last two financial years. Probably has to do with the Fermion drug, which they started CDMO services with. So they did this big capex in Ankleshwar, for which 30% of the capex was dedicated for this Fermion product, and now it's kind of become like a blockbuster molecule, which is like Bayer is reporting great numbers for this molecules, and Acutaas is one of the suppliers of the intermediates for that molecule. So this kind of translates into this great performance kind of is in line with that drug. But let's see what happened this quarter. They said that they inaugurated their new Jagaria plant, which is actually running a bit delayed, and they also did a JV for their semiconductor chemicals. Their results were great, and that's why they got the rationale behind the score was very heavily influenced by their great financial performance. Guidance was upgraded both in terms of revenue and in terms of margins, which makes sense because they've already killed it in the first three quarters. um, so it makes sense to upgrade the guidance. They've beaten their guidance, and which we'll see in the guidance monitor as well, which is kind of the new feature I want to discuss the guidance history or the guidance monitor for Acutaas, because their growth catalyst is basically, they have some new molecules in their CDMO pipeline, four new molecules. The Jagaria plant is gonna start production from next quarter, next financial year, and there's been a JV for semiconductor chemicals, right? So they're doing something on all fronts. But if we come to the guidance monitor for this last view on this company, let's see what's been happening. So the revenue growth guidance has been revised upwards to 30%. So initially they said 25% last year. Then in quarter two, they said, okay, we will do 25%. So they reiterated it, but now they've said, okay, we'll do 30% based on their performance. Not only revenue, but the margin guidance has been upgraded, right? So management committed to delivering better margins. Then they said, okay, 28 to 30. Now they're going to 32 to 35 following their record performance, because obviously the CDMO segment is doing really well. This is what I was mentioning. The Jagadia plant was initial completion was expected by Q1, but now it's been delayed to Q3, and then meaningful revenue contribution from Q1. So, well, CDMO is driving the train currently, but they have interesting things coming up as well.